We are ready now.
On the exchange program.
Anna, we weren't able to hear you. If you could start again, that would be fine. Lovely.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, welcome everyone and good evening welcome to the Chiba University of Commerce session. This informative session is presented by Professor Yuri Takahashi, who is the International Advisor to the University and English professor. She oversees and advises on the exchange program to Chiba University students. I now invite Dr. Yuri Takahashi to start this session. You have the floor.
Thank you very much for your introduction. Yes, hi everybody. I'm Yuri Takahashi from CUC, the Chiba University of Commerce. We are Japan's first and only 100% renewable energy university. And today I want to focus my presentation on this fact. We achieved the 100% renewable energy for our electricity consumption in January 2019. And we are a medium-sized private university with just over 6,000 students. Next, please, number 2. Yes, thank you. We are located right next to the capital, Tokyo. Only a 20-minute train ride from Tokyo Station. And we have a very convenient rail link to 2 international airports, Narita and Haneda. Next, please. Yes, our 100% renewable energy project is closely linked to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Number 7, affordable and clean energy. Number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. 13, climate action. And 17, partnerships for the goals. Next, please. Our next aim was to become a 100% renewable energy university by March 2021, producing not only electricity, but also all the energy we consume on campus by solar power. This was actually achieved in June 2020, but as it was under the extraordinary circumstances of the coronavirus pandemic, without any students on campus, we decided to reset our goal for March 2023. Next, please. Under our president's strong leadership, a university-wide project was formed by the faculty, staff, and students to achieve this 100% renewable energy university. Next, please. We replaced all our fluorescent lights with LED, light-emitting diode lights, removed 7 soft drink vending machines, and replaced the remaining 19 with new energy efficient ones. And I want to add that this initiative to remove and replace vending machines actually came from the students. And we also changed the temperature setting of air conditioners and installed an energy management system, EMS, which I will explain later. Next, please. These measures enabled us to reduce our energy consumption year on year. And the 2018 consumption was 23% down from 2016. Next, please. And we have a solar farm in Noda, which used to be a baseball practice ground, about 25 kilometers north of our campus, with a capacity of 2.88 megawatts. It produced 3.6 gigawatt hour a year in fiscal 2018. Next, please. The power generated at the solar farm is not directly used on campus, but sold to a power grid company using this FIT system, which you may be aware, you know about. And from August 2019, we started purchasing our non-fossil fuel certificate. So we can say that we virtually buy back the power from our Noda plant. So though we're not using it directly, we are using all non-fossil fuel. Next, please. In addition to our Noda solar farm, we have placed photovoltaic panels, solar panels on all available rooftop space on campus. We have 1,337 panels with a capacity of 4.48 kilowatts. Yes. Next, please. And we have also installed an energy management system, which I mentioned earlier. What it does is it monitors our energy consumption, and this is made visible for everyone to see. And students are important players in this project. They try to raise awareness of the need to save energy by patrolling the campus and finding classrooms where lights have been left on, etc. They also check the temperature using a thermography camera. And we can see, for example, next slide, that there is heat loss if the doors are left open while the heating is on. Next slide, please. This is an event called Uchimizu. It's a traditional way of cooling down by sprinkling water on the ground. And we get international students to participate in this event. These students are those participating in our summer program, pre-pandemic, of course. And in this way, we want to spread the need to conserve energy to those from other universities and countries too. Next, please. Another traditional way to bring temperature down in the summer is to install a green screen. And climbing plants are planted outside the windows to block sunlight and heat. And this is also carried out by students. Yeah, we have also started a solar sharing project on campus, placing solar panels about 2 meters above the ground and planting grapes beneath them. It is a small project producing only 8.6 kilowatts, but the idea of one day drinking wine from our own vineyard is great fun. We're looking forward to it. Next, please. In the 12 months from December 2018 to November 2019, we generated 3.9 million kilowatt hour of electricity. Next, please. We won the 2019 Environment Ministers Award for activities combat global warming. Next, please. And students participate in various environmental events to raise awareness. Also. Next, please. And sessions like this one that I'm attending today, where we can network and share our experiences, ideas, is so important. So thank you so much for giving me the chance to talk about how we achieved 100% renewable energy at our university. We have formed the Renewable Energy University League with like-minded universities in Japan in June 2021, just a few months ago. And we want to spread this idea to other universities overseas too. So if anyone is interested, please contact us here at CUC, the Chiba University of Commerce. If we could do it, you can do it too. So come and join us for the environment, for the earth. Thank you.
Professor, we have some questions.
Yes,
May
I'd
I
be
say-
happy to answer. I hope it's not too technical. It's not
Don't
too
worry.
technical. Yes.
I think they are like really easy. The number one is, are there any plans of returning to face-to-face classes for the second semester of 2022?
Right, definitely. Our school year actually starts in April. We go from April to March, as it were. So we're just starting the second semester in October. To begin with, we are online. Actually, we had in-person classes in the spring this year. So from April to July, we had in-person on-site classes. But because of this fifth wave or whatever, the university has decided to start classes online in October. However, our numbers are really going down dramatically now, and the country as a whole may also lift the restrictions. I think they are now saying perhaps by end of October or November. So it's very likely that the restrictions will be lifted. And when that happens, I think the university may want to go back to in-person classes in the second half of this coming semester. And definitely, if things continue the way they are, I hope that certainly for 2022, we can go back to normal in-class teaching and also start having real exchange programs as well, because right now all of those are online as well. Thank you for asking. I think that's a very important question. All our study abroad programs have had to go online, And we are accepting students also only from overseas, online only, because they have actually not been able to enter the country anyway. So not only exchange students, but regular students from overseas who had intended to actually come as a regular student have had to stay back in their countries and take our classes online. So, but I think that's an experience we all share. And I think that's been really around the world. So, but I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that 2022 will be different.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope so. We have another question. It says, are there scholarships for high school students? I think maybe they are thinking you as university are associated with a cousin, maybe.
Okay, high school students, for high school students, um, I have to confess, I'm not really so sure about high school students, but once students enroll in our university, there are quite a few scholarship opportunities for international students. In fact, there are more scholarship opportunities for international students than for Japanese students, which is kind of an unusual situation, which is not the case in most other countries that I know. There are more scholarship opportunities for their own students and not so much for international students. But Japan, really of course, the government wants to encourage students from overseas to come to Japan. So there are government scholarships, but those are actually quite difficult to get. But there are also private groups that fund different scholarship programs. But those, I think you are only eligible once you are a university student. So not before you become a student. And international students have they're all pay. We are a private university, but the tuition that international students pay is actually less than our Japanese students, by a third. So already to begin with, even if you do not get a scholarship, you are paying less than Japanese students. On top of it, you may also apply for different types of scholarships. So many of our students, international students, I wouldn't say all, but quite a few of them are eligible for different scholarships, and we help them, of course, apply and get those scholarships too.
Thank you, Professor. I'm sorry. We have one last question here. What are the most popular programs among the exchange students from not Spanish-speaking countries?
Right. So for just because you mentioned Spanish, I'm afraid we don't have any really sort of programs in Spanish. And most of our courses are taught in Japanese. We're trying to increase the number of classes taught in English. And even that, it's not really enough. And I feel that we do not have enough to offer international students, actually. So to tell you the truth, many of our international students so far are students who have already studied some Japanese and or are interested in studying Japanese, so that they have many of them have come from Asian countries like China, Korea, Taiwan, and so on, where they have already taken some classes in Japanese and they speak Japanese to a certain extent. Oh, also Vietnam is another country which is sending us many students these days, because they have foundation courses in Japanese before coming here. And so yes, to answer your question, so they are mostly as our what's are they studying? Well, that is really a whole variety of things that they specialize or major in. Our university, of course, as the name implies, Chiba University of Commerce, we are very strong on commerce, business, marketing, and economics. Many students are studying bookkeeping and to become certified public accountants or tax accountants and things like that. That's a popular subject. Another study, many of our students who are very internationally minded are in the global studies faculty. We also have what we call let's see, faculty studying service innovations. So these are people who want to work in the service sector eventually. That is like tourism, hotels, airports, and things like that. We also have a Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, and these the students eventually want to go and work or manage facilities for the elderly and different service also companies. And we have also another faculty called Policy Informatics. And this name is a little bit mysterious, but these are students studying in computer science, actually, the informatics part, and also media studies, and also people doing a little bit creative work are in that department. So we have all kinds. I just want to add one thing related to what the previous question about scholarships, because I guess students are worried about the finances. And Japan is actually an unusual country in which the country allows international students to work. So while they are students, many countries, students cannot really work, but there's a limit to how many hours a week you can work. But many of our international students, just like our Japanese students, do some kind of part-time work. And if it's, I think it was like 28 hours a week or something like that, they are allowed to work. So that's another means of income that they will have to support themselves. Right. Okay, I just wanted to add that information because I think it's quite unusual for students to be able to legitimately work.
Yes, but it's super useful. Yes. And well, actually, we have one last question and then we will have to finish our session. This is from Ricardo Aguado. And he asked, if I want to attend classes in your university, do I need a certain level of Japanese, or is the English language enough to attend classes? Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks for asking. Actually, if you're taking only English classes, and if you want to enroll into very elementary Japanese language classes, Japanese level may not be required. But if you're going to be taking regular classes, Japanese classes alongside Japanese students, you do require quite a good level of Japanese, what we call, there are different levels. I'm not sure, maybe if he knows, but it's like N2 is required, N1 being the highest. So that's the kind of general requirement to be able to follow lectures in Japanese. So that's quite a high level. But we usually don't expect it of exchange students. But if you're coming in as a regular student, and expecting to take courses in Japanese, you would need that, I think. But as an exchange student, that's not required.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. And this is, I promise this is the last one.
Okay.
And this is from Jennifer Andrea Lopez. And she asked, what would it be the right time to go to Chiba University for international students? At the beginning of the career or at the end?
Oh, well, what's the right time for? Oh, you mean
to do the exchange program at
okay, okay. Well, whatever suits you actually. So we have students coming in their second year or third year. Yes, whatever works best, I think, for you with your career goals or other requirements like internship requirements or, I think it would vary. So, yeah, whatever works for you. So don't hesitate to contact us, and we would very much like to see what works best for you.
Thank you, Professor. And I think we are running out of time.
Okay.
And we, well, on behalf of the Office for International Relations and Academic Collaboration of University of Guanajuato, we want to express our gratitude to Dr. Yuri Takahashi for the time and presentation that you gave us. And we would also like to invite to all attendees to keep participating in the events that will be held in the next 2 days. We would like to thank you all and wish you a good evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And also, I hope that some people in the audience will become interested in this very important problem of switching to renewable energy. We have the climate summit in Glasgow in November. Yes, I am watching that with interest also.
Yes, actually, they did. We have a comment here. I don't know if I am allowed to read them, but it says it was from actually Ricardo Aguado. He said the green screen is a great idea. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, the students do that work. Yes.
Yes,
And it's incredibly effective, actually. Yeah, it really, really cools it down. I didn't mention one thing. We also have, actually, I forgot to mention it, but there is a film that you can paste onto the glass window from the inside. And that film, it doesn't, it lets in the light, but it blocks the heat. So it keeps the room, that allows our air conditioner setting to be, as a little bit higher. We don't use, that's a sort of another small conservation measure. But all these little things add up. So we do what we can.
and you're doing great. Thank you so much, Professor Judy, and thank you all. Have
No,
a
thank
good
you for
evening.
your help. It was great. I needed all your help. So thank you very much, both of you, for helping me.
Thank you, Professor. And I think will be it. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Professor.
Bye.